Welcome back to Third Phase Moon. Blake Cousins here. I received an email earlier yesterday from Andy. He reached out. He's concerned about the footage that we released on Third Phase Moon in regards to the real story behind it. And Andy's joining us all the way from New York, and he's got the information. So we're going to break it down in regards to this Homeland Security footage captured in Tucson, Arizona. Andy, appreciate you joining us. Let's just start it up. How did you obtain this footage?
I was reached out through my Instagram channel by a follower who I guess decided he felt comfortable, talking to me and basically sending me cell phone footage of the objects at first from his VHS server at the his computer at the office. And basically I ended up getting him to find the original files and send them over to me, and that's when everything took off from there. Well, apparently the footage has been around now for a while. I believe it was taken in 2010 or 2019. It was kept in a folder where two other pieces of footage were, which was the A10 Warthog and the one we call La Bruja. And they kept them in those files because they were, it would pass around throughout the office or, throughout the individuals working there as sort of like a prank, I guess they would think of it, because nobody knew what they were. So, still to this day, they have no idea what they were. The object in question on the rubber duck was taken by I believe it's a C-26 spy plane, RC-26 spy plane. And they were basically doing recon, looking for drug smugglers and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, as they're panning through the landscape, they saw these objects come into view. And as you look at it, you could automatically tell that this thing is not any type of conventional drone or balloon or anything like that. But basically, no, they had no idea what it was. And it was one of the reasons why he chose to give this to me and share it with me, to see if I can get it to individuals that can analyze it properly, to basically put this out there and let everybody know that they're coming into contact with these things all the time, but nothing's really being done about it, and nobody knows what these things are.
So basically, this footage that you obtained and you just put out just a few days ago, the major media and some people are trying to allocate the video as we're speaking right now. And also, there's a study on this video that's going to take about a month or so to, analyze this video frame by frame. Can you tell us the process behind this and some of the major media and why or how they're trying to get in touch with you in regards to this footage?
Well, I think the major media is not happy with the fact that the footage is out the way it came out, because right now, as you notice, you have certain specific individuals who are kind of controlling the narrative, and they're dropping specific information, kind of drip feeding all of this stuff to everybody. And now all of a sudden, here comes this individual who is not really known by many people and dropped a 40-minute FLIR footage of an actual unidentified object, which blows away Tic Tac, blows away Gimbal, blows away Go Fast, anything that Jeremy Corbell has put out so far. And, they had no control over it. So I think one of the reasons why I've been getting such, negativity and hate from individuals, especially individuals in the UFO community, is because of that, because either they didn't get it or, nobody was prepared for the fact that, this footage actually existed and was going to be dropped. But I think that's one of the reasons why I've been getting such negativity and backlash towards it. We're supposed to we're all rooting for the same thing, and we're all looking for the disclosure that deserves to be put out there to the public. And it's after dropping it, it kind of looked like like everyone has their own agenda. You understand? Like no one's on the same page. We're all doing the things for our own separate agendas, and that's the impression I've been getting since I dropped it. So it makes it feel like because these individuals didn't get their hands on it, that they automatically are trying to debunk it without even any analysis or anything like that, which was one of the reasons why before I even released this footage, I didn't tell anybody about this and reached out to an organization to actually analyze this before anything ever got released. So that way, when this did happen, which I knew it was going to, I now have a backup where this report is going to back up everything that I've been saying, and it's going to prove that the object in question is not anything. It's not a conventional object that we assume it to be, or many people are assuming it to be.
Absolutely. A lot of people, including ourselves, we jumped on the video, and I'm glad you reached out to us so we could actually confirm the exact source of the video. I think it's important, and appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah, I've had people try to post my personal information, like where I live, on Twitter. I had to deactivate my Twitter because of that. I'm on Reddit. I've had people post my where I work. I've had strange, occurrences occur in my home. Where I would lock my front door, and I would end up finding it, open. And I mean, I don't want to say that is attributed to that, but it was, it's kind of weird that these things are happening while I, was releasing the footage or had the footage. But yeah, it hasn't been a fun ride. I thought it was going to be, you know what I'm saying? I thought because I had this and putting it out there was going to be taken in a more acceptable way, but I've been completely blown back by how opposite it turned out when I released this footage. So it's kind of an eye exactly what we're dealing with when it comes to disclosure, because it's not just about getting footage out and people accepting it. It's you have an entire community now who's throwing out opinions, and science is now an opinion will take over that, and it kind of ruins the entire subject, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure. You know what I like about this video is obviously it's coming from a government agency, Homeland Security, and it lasts for, like you say, 40 minutes. It's got the cameras locked onto it. It's clear. It's not blurry like all these other Pentagon videos that have come out, last year, a few years ago. This is something extraordinary, what we're looking at. My question is, this person who shot it, is he going to come forward and give his testimony? I know he's kind of laying behind the scenes, but eventually you said that he's going to actually come forward and speak about this encounter that he filmed.
Yeah, eventually he told me that he would come forward. He doesn't want to come out right now due to personal reasons, but he says within the next I would say maybe month or two, he would reveal who he is and speak about the matter. I trust the individual. He's I've gotten to be very close with him, so I know that he's not some kind of weirdo, or he's not throwing this information out for any reason, but for the right reasons, to get the footage and the information out to the public the way it deserves. He's been concerned about this for the longest, and nothing's been done about it. So that was his main goal, to release the footage, because he says this information needs to come out. It can't be hidden anymore. So he felt that was the best thing to do, or the right thing to do.
Yeah, this video is making the rounds. What do you want people that view this footage to take away from it, and your purpose of releasing it? What's the outcome that you would really want? The optimal outcome about this release and the ramifications of this situation?
Well, my main focus, or my main hope for this footage when it was dropped, was to basically get people to be aware of that regardless of whether it's ET or not, there's something in our skies that we can't explain. You understand? We don't know where it's coming from. We don't know what it is. Is it extraterrestrial? Possibly. Is it some kind of advanced secret military technology? Maybe. You understand? But something is definitely up there, and something's flying around in our own skies, and we have no idea what it is. And the possibility, if it is ET, is incredible, because it will answer one of the greatest questions of human history: is, are we alone? You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that this gets other people to come forward and not be afraid to release any information or any footage that they might have, because it's not doing the human race any good to keep it hidden. You understand? We need this information to come out so we can move forward in our evolution. You understand? We can move forward with our future. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all in this together. We're trying to get the information out, and everybody should be kind of, like you say, on the same page. And if people out there that's sitting on footage like this, definitely release it. Share it with Andy. He's got a record of sharing this stuff with the insiders. So let me ask you, does this source who captured this, is he indicating that he has possibly more of this kind of footage from other days, other experiences with the phenomenon?
Actually, yes. He told me that he knows that there's more footage out there. He can't get his hands on those specific pieces of footage, but he knows that they exist, and other people do have, they have experiences all the time in the Department of Homeland Security. You got to understand, their job is to, survey landscapes and areas, so they're always observing. They're always seeing things. If you remember, in 2013, they captured the footage from Aguadilla, which is considered one of the most incredible pieces of footage of a legitimate UFO ever taken or ever seen, And now, just earlier this year, they had another DHS footage come out from Puerto Rico of the object that came out of the water from Aguadilla as well. And now here you go with another one, the rubber duck from Department of Homeland Security. And they have the A-10 that came out before, and the rubber duck, the Bruja as well. So, everyone's focus is so on the military, they're completely forgetting about, organizations or, branches like the Department of Homeland Security that also have this technology to, capture and view and see these things, but nobody's really paying attention to them, I think a little more focus should be, pointed in that direction, because just look at what they've come up with.
Absolutely.
So this, right now, they've literally come up with the best footage that's ever come out of any anomalous object.
Yeah, as far as any government footage, this stands out above and beyond anything that we've seen so far. So this is pretty cool, actually. Let's hope there's more. How do people, because I know you might be updating with the analysis of this video, possibly more videos being leaked coming in to you. What's the name of your YouTube channel? We're going to be supplying the original link in the description. You guys, everybody go check it out.
It's just New York NYUAP discussion. It's the same name as my Instagram. And one thing I want to make clear is I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for likes or for follows. My goal is just to get the information out and wake people up to this phenomenon. It's real. It exists. It's all around us. It's been probably part of our history for as long as we've been around. So that's my goal. And one more thing I just wanted to say is we have to remember that opinions are just opinions. You can't blurt out balloon. You can't blurt out bird. You can't. That doesn't work when it comes to this phenomenon, and when it comes to analysis of the phenomenon and trying to figure out what this is. We need to do the real science. You understand? We need to, put in the work, use the equipment to come to a legitimate conclusion, not just throwing out what you feel or what you think it is, because we're going to end up getting nowhere if that's how we're going to handle disclosure. We're just going to be in the same spot for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. Debunkers come forward and want to give their opinion with the debunk and act like they debunked it 100%. And that's the worst thing a debunker can do, because if they get it wrong just once, their whole mission of debunking has gone out the window. They can't afford to make these mistakes and throw out these generalities of dismissing this kind of stuff with the simple word. They weren't there. They weren't, they're not analyzing. So, yeah, again, there's a lot of opinions, but I'm glad, we're kind of straightening things out of how you ascertain the footage, the story behind it, and I'm sure there's going to be some more updates. So, Andy, keep in touch. I appreciate, again, you reaching out to us to clarify the source of the video, and hopefully get to the bottom of whatever this thing is. And, man, it'll be really neat to, one day maybe hear from this eyewitness when he's ready to come forward as well.
No, definitely. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to, express myself and, get the correct information and just we have to all be on the same page when it comes to this. We can't be separated. You understand? We all have to be one. If not, we're never going to get nowhere. You understand? We're always going to be in the same spot.
Let's just go down the rabbit hole here for a second, and let's just assume this is some sort of adversarial or foreign technology.
the more than 120 incidents over the past 2 decades are not from the U.S. military or other advanced U.S. government technology.
When it gets right in front of me, it just disappears. Disappear. Like gone.
To be clear, he's referring to this giant object as a tic tac, because he said it was shaped like one.
We're in, that we don't know what these things are, and they might even be extraterrestrial. That's worse.